Hi, Ryan Delany, your coffee price risk ninja here, and welcome to the coffee market in 5 minutes. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you an overview of what you need to know in the coffee market right now. We'll start with the fundamental picture as our price framework. Next, we'll touch seasonality to put our fundamentals into context for the year. And we'll look at the weather for the key upcoming events. Moving into the macro environment, we'll take a quick look at the currency market with a focus on the Brazilian real. Next, we'll cover the positioning to see how speculators are positioned in the market. And finally, we'll look at the technicals for a hint as to what price is going to do next. These charts show the coffee balance sheets. So the green bars above zero are coffee surpluses, the bars below zero are deficits. Deficits are bullish and surpluses are bearish. Currently, we're in the tail end of the 1920 season deficit and moving into the 2021 season surplus. Here's the context that you need to remember. 1718 was bullish, 1819 was bearish, 1920 was bullish, and 2021 is bearish. I'm talking about the total coffee picture here, but notice that the Arabica market tracks this same balance. The Robusta market is a different story, but we'll leave that for now. Here's the Arabica market with the bullish bearish signals overlaid on it, and I've put that on top of my price model. You can see that it tracks the same bullish bearish pattern on it. The price model shows my price expectations as quantified by the fundamental data. As you can see, the projections track our expectations nicely, and the surplus in the 2021 crop is projected to be a weight on prices. The bearish picture is tempered somewhat by the certified stocks. As you can see, we've had a healthy stock draw, and that trend is bullish. As an analog, you can see that we are at very similar levels to 2016, when the market was 10 cents higher and rallying toward 160. If the certs continue to draw, this could be very bullish. Now, why isn't the market paying attention to this? These are destination stocks here. Compared to the cert stocks we just looked at, these are telling you the exact opposite story. Stocks are well above average, and we're projecting them to rise to at least 2019 levels, which means that we're expecting plenty of supply, and this is on top of anticipated demand reductions from COVID. This shows where the coffee origins are in the crop cycle. Here we are in July, right here, with August and September. Blooming starts around August for Brazil and the Colombian Mintaka, followed by sometime around September for Indonesia. It's also the end of the harvest in those periods, in those regions. The centrals are still in the cherry growth phase until the harvest in October, so they'll be vulnerable to moisture deficits, but so far everything is looking fine for that crop. As already noted, this is the Brazilian frost season, which often comes with a price bump. Looking at the actual weather forecasts, though, we see that projected minimum temperatures over the next 2 weeks don't even go below the 5 to 10 degree range, so there's no frost risk. The majority of the coffee region is not expected to go below 10 degrees. It's hard for me to project what the BRL will do from here, but the economic outlook for Brazil is not great, and the trend is for a weaker currency, so I'm taking this as bearish, though it could definitely still go either way, especially on a day-to-day basis. The spec positioning has a short-term and a long-term view. Short-term, we've got a net short spec position that is underwater in a rallying market. This implies short covering and it's bullish. However, longer term, we've barely scratched the surface of the max spec short position, so they can still add a ton here. Looking at the technicals, as you can see from the 50-year chart on the left, there's a strong long-term support at 100 and stiff resistance at the 140-150 area. Zooming into the 6-month period, we recently carved out a range between 95 and 100, which also forms a rounded bottom support. Previous highs and lows will present resistance levels, but on Monday we broke out of that range on good volume. So based on the chart, I would expect we see some follow through to the upside. However, I also expect origin sellers and fundamental traders to sell any rallies unless there's a change in fundamental view. So to recap, the fundamental picture is bearish as per our price model, but we're close to the model projection, so this doesn't suggest a lot of pressure. The seasonality is bullish due to the frost season in Brazil. However, current weather reports show no risk of frost. That can change on a dime, but for now it's the best information that we have. The macro environment is bearish due to the weak BRL, but this is very volatile as well and can move in either direction. The COT is short-term bullish as the speculators are net short in a rallying market. However, longer term, we haven't even come close to the max short position, so there's a lot of room for them to add new shorts. The technicals are very bullish. We've traced out our range of support below 100. We've now broken out of that range on volume, and the ratio of green days to red days has been increasing dramatically. So what's going to happen? What do my coffee ninja skills project? Markets are complex systems, meaning when one part changes, it influences other parts. So predictions are not as useful as probabilities. However, here's one possible path that seems like it could be likely based on the data that we have. That path says short covering and technicals carry this rally a little further until it attracts selling and then gets sold off back towards fair value at 100 cents. That's my guess as to what will happen. Feel free to let me know what you think will happen in the comments. I'm Ryan Delany. Thanks for watching the Coffee Market in 5 minutes.